AITA for wishing that my father was dead for relying on a 20-year-old me for money. About 6 months ago, I, a 20-year-old male, had a heated argument with my father, Lucas, a 49-year-old male, during which I called him a failure and wished that he was dead for depending on me for money. Since then, he has not visited me, and we have had no contact. I believe that I was justified in saying so, but sometimes I think I overreacted to my father's demands. For context, 4 years ago, my mother, who was a doctor, died in a car accident. At that time, I was 16. After some time of her passing away, our family lawyer told me that my mother had been investing in a trust fund, and I was the only beneficiary of that fund. However, I could withdraw the money only after turning 18. The lawyer also suggested me not to tell my father about the fund. When I asked why, he told me that my mother had a conversation with him that my dad will try to claim the money or force me to give it to him. I believe it was because my father had never been a responsible person, particularly when it comes to finances. 2 years ago, I turned 18 and had the access of trust fund. After receiving the money, I was very happy that it would help me pay my tuition fees and cover other expenses. However, when my father found out about this fund, he asked me to lend him half of the amount I had received as loan. I was hesitant because I knew he would not repay the loan. Despite my reservations, I reluctantly agreed, but on the condition that he would pay for my tuition fees. Mind that the tuition's fees were less than what I gave him. He agreed and actually paid for 2 semesters. With the remaining money, I rented a studio apartment near the campus, bought a car, the latest iPhone, and books for my studies, and invested the rest in S&P 500. I kept the small amount of money I had left in a bank, and also started working a part-time job to ensure I would not run out of money in the future, especially during my university years. Fast forward to 6 months ago, my dad came to me and told me that he could not afford my university tuition and asked me to cover it. I was shocked to hear this because I had already paid him for my fees. I told him that he was responsible for paying the tuition fee since I was a broke university student, working part-time to support myself. Instead of understanding my situation, he started scolding me for not having any money left and claimed that the money I used for moving out and that I had given to him was his wife's money, and that I and he had an equal right to that. So, he was not responsible for paying my fee. In reality, he was telling a lie because his name was not mentioned anywhere in the legal documents of the fund. Not only this, he didn't even know about the fund. Initially, I tried to make him understand that he would have to pay for my educational expenses. However, when he plainly refused, I was fed up and called my dad a failure of a father for stealing from a broke son, and I wished that he had died instead of Mom that night. When I said this, a sudden silence came over his face, one that I had never seen on his face before that day. Suddenly, all his body gestures stopped, and he sat down on the chair. 2 to 3 drops of tears rolled down his cheeks, and after around 10 minutes, he left my apartment in silence. He has not contacted me since then, but 2 months ago he deposited my university fee without informing me. Initially, I thought he was trying emotional tricks to extract money from me, but now I think he was not. Sometimes, I think I don't know that man, and that I overreacted by calling him a failure. However, I am not sure whether I am wrong or right in this particular situation, because my reaction seems natural, at least to me, given what he did. Now I request Reddit fam to tell me, am I the jerk for wishing that my father was dead? And what should I do?